Scotty doesn't know that Fiona and me do it in
episode
my
17 of the Superfan Sprint podcast. I'm your host, Jake. Matt, what up, dude?
What's up? Oh, sorry, can't really hear you, fellas. Sorry, it's pretty loud. Vibes are high here in Phoenix. Live from the open. Practice round day 2.
What's the
It's
vibe
actually
like there?
free. It's free to come out here on a Tuesday here in Phoenix. And I told everybody behind me to just be really, really still, but they can still talk.
The guy to your left kind of looks like Mr. T at high.
Is that Jimmy there? Is that Jimmy on the other side of you there?
Jimmy's over in the section right here.
Oh yeah, I see him.
That's where the GA section is. We're by the T right now. We're in corporate hospitality. This is actually the exact outfit that I wore last year. At this time, actually, I think I had my white Tiger Woods Nike hat on.
Did you remember to put on sun cream?
I did remember to put on sun cream, but Cobra Kai and I last year were on this day last year, maybe not this exact date, but Tuesday of the WM week. It was just a glorious day. Like Kai and I went, the sun was shining as it is here right now. You can clearly see how sunny it is. And Kai and I got into corporate hospitality for free, and Jake and Robbie flew in later that day, and it was just a great Tuesday. Probably one of the best Tuesdays I've ever had.
Best Tuesdays of all time.
Yeah.
Didn't we go to Top Golf that night?
It was the GOAT. It was the greatest of all Tuesdays. Yeah, I think we went to Top Golf that night, and Kai like maybe hit three shots, like just KO, like mixture of the sun.
He was in
being
one
on you all day, and I think like we're just like outside the general admission area, and we had just grabbed a beer, and it was kind of like, all right, like should we go? We were just deciding like, should we go walk around the course a little bit more, or should we go to 16? And then some guy came up to us and he's like, hey, and he's like, hey, is there just 2 of you? And we're like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, I have these corporate hospitality seats. And I thought it was going to be one of those things where he's like, hey, transfer me and I'll give you these seats. And we're just like, all right, like we don't care, right? Like we want to go sit in the GA section anyways. And he's like, no, honestly, like I'm not going to use them. So just take them because I want somebody to be able to use them. And him and I are like, okay. So we grab them. We go up, and I think what people don't realize about the corporate hospitality is it takes up like the majority of the hole, and we get it's like a wristband that you scan to get in, and we get in, and it's almost like going to a basketball game. There's just boxes all around the outside, right? And on this day, each box was like clearly had been purchased by a company, right? And so we on even though it was a wristband, on the wristband we had like an assigned section. So we were like, okay, let's go over and see where the section is, see if it's a good view, like, you know, what's the vibe going to be in there? Like if there's no one in there, then we can sit in there, right? Like there's no general area to sit, right? You if you want to look at 17, you have to be in one of these boxes, or 16, you have to be in one of these boxes. You can look at 17T through another area, and you can look at 15 green through another area, which is more general admission. So we roll up to this box, and it's just full of people. And it was a bunch of companies that had rented it out that were clearly like road safety. Like these are the guys that would make like traffic pylons and stuff. And it's just packed in there, right? It's like and everybody, it was so obvious that everybody knew each other. So it's like, we can't go in here. Yeah. Like, we cannot go in here. People are going to be like, who the fuck are these guys? So it's like, okay, let's just grab a beer. So we roll up to grab a beer, order 2 pints. The very nice young woman served us these 2 pints, and we grabbed them, and she's like, anything else? And we're like, nope, that's good, thanks. And she goes, okay, have fun. And we were just like,
for any coin.
We were just like, okay.
Yeah.
And we took a couple of steps and kind of like jogged away, and it's like, holy shit, it's free booze. And so then we crank that one back, go back, and we find out that it's not actually free booze. It's 12 beers free per wristband. which is a ridiculous amount.
Which is a lot of beers.
Basically
Well, hey, not really. If you talk to Jimmy,
yeah. I mean, not for us, but
Well, how
for
much
most
was a
people.
how much was a
for
pint
regular people.
for
Oh, how much were we paying, Jake? Like 10 USD?
Yeah,
I think it was
probably.
10 USD plus tip for like a Coors Light from
Yeah.
Jimmy from Cincinnati in the
Yeah.
So
GA
that's
They
like
give you, like-
$150 that you didn't spend.
that you're saving.
You know
Yeah.
those like
Yeah.
cans you could like put the lid back on? Weren't they like those Coors Light ones?
Yeah, the wide mouths.
Yeah, they were like those.
Rest in peace to those in Canada.
Why did they ever get rid of those?
They're still here. That's a Canadian thing.
Anyways,
It's a Canadian thing.
we went. The reason we found this out is because we went to a different concession stand, and the girl actually scanned our wristbands.
Oh, the other one didn't.
No, the other girl didn't. So then we're like, okay, well, forget that. We're gonna go back to the original girl.
Yeah.
So we go back to the original girl, and she has this like, it's almost like an iPhone looking like device that they scan the wristband with. So
Yeah.
we get a beer from her. And then it's like, so this is beer 3 at this point. Get another beer from her. And then she's like, oh, sorry, I've got to scan your wristbands. And then she like grabs the device, and over top of the wristband, she just goes like, beep boop. And like doesn't scan it out. And we're just like, oh, okay. And so then we go back for another one, and she goes, oh, yep, I'm scanning your wristband. Beep boop, right? Like
It's because someone's watching her and she needs to do it.
but
Like
clearly there was this underlying understanding between Kai and I and her that she's not scanning our wristbands in exchange for a good tip.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, totally fine with us. So we were there for probably 2.5 hours. I think we had at least 10 beers
Each.
all from this girl. 20 USD in the tip jar at the end. She's like, oh my God, you guys are the best. Like, that's so generous of you. It's like, fuck, like, come on, right? Because people are throwing like $1 in every time they get a drink, right? I'm sure some people are only having a few drinks. Like I think she made some good bank off of us, right? 10 beer each. We were basically giving her $2 a beer each. So it was fun. That was a good time. Like, corporate hospitality is like, it's fun, but the vibes are the best, certainly in the general admission.
can't wait for the Superfan Sprint fucking
Yeah, we're gonna be in there for sure, dude. Like
Yeah,
we're
we'll
gonna
have a booth or something.
we're gonna
Imagine.
we're gonna be walking around pretty good in there.
So where I'm sitting right now is like what I would call the 300 level, like the top deck. The lower deck, we're right behind the tee box. The lower deck has like, it almost looks like a booth at a nightclub. Like there's like a U shape of like couches and stuff, table in the middle, and like it looks like
bring you
get
food,
cooler in the middle.
dude. Yeah, just full of Konas, or like hopefully they have mango cards by then. One of the two.
Yeah, I think like Hawaii's gonna be rough, with the cones. Just
well, we got California with the Golden Road
the
mango carts. That'll ruin our lives. And then we got in Florida. I'm sure we'll get into the Yinglings.
Our diet will be In and Out and mango carts.
What are those Texas beers called? Fuck, it's like something. It might be Lone Star or something. I don't know. They have their own beers.
One thing's for sure is that when we're in Pebble the week before, if the schedule remains the same, which we'll talk about that in the coming minutes, but when we're in Pebble, it's just going to have to be an all-out grinding week in terms of like exercise, like physically preparing our bodies to handle what's coming the following week.
And the events in LA and like San Diego, like I'm gonna want to send it to, see all the boys that are down here. My cousin.
Yeah, I actually saw a video recently. I don't know who the guest was, but who's the barstool guy with the long hair that does the interviews, and he's always like
Caleb Presley.
Presley. Yeah, it was a Caleb Presley thing. And some guy was this guest that he had on. They were talking about drinking, and the guy's like, I love drinking. Like he's like, I'll never give it up. I will always make sure that my body is like in a good enough shape to handle whatever it is that I'm putting into it. And he goes on this long rant about how when you're with friends and you're like, let's grab a drink, when you're not supposed to, it's almost like the first kiss with someone. Like it's a magical moment. And I actually resonated with that hard. And it made me want to run through a wall, this speech from this guy. Like he was just firing me up. So I feel the same way. So I think, you know what? Like we're definitely gonna have a few bevies at this time next year, but we'll have the bodies prepared for it, and we'll have earned the bevies.
So wait, 1 year ago today, we did Top Golf. Did we go out? We didn't go out after, did we?
No. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, we did.
no. There's no way Kai made it out.
Kai didn't make it out.
So it just me and Robbie went out.
I thought we went to Top Golf, we dropped Kai off because he was like he had like some minor sunstroke or something. And then we
Yeah.
all did we not?
I think you're right. But there was one night where Robbie didn't go out, and it was me, you, and Kai. And Kai went back early because his phone died. And it's just me and you at the end of it.
Honestly, it was all a movie. It was all a movie.
Hey,
It's a
I was
miniseries.
listening to a radio show and they were talking about how every friend group has one guy that could just take it deep and just not stop, right? Because it was like basically they asked if should I do the waist and the Super Bowl because they're already going to the
Oh.
waist, and it's like chances are you're not going to make it to the Super Bowl if you're doing the waist as well, and it's like. But there's always one guy in the friend group that could just take it deep and do everything and not stop.
I can probably
9
do
to
it.
9.
I can probably do it. I've done it before. We are getting old though. We are
I
getting
can't
old.
do it in my old age anymore. I used to be able to, but
I can still handle Vegas pretty good.
I like to imagine I'm that guy, but when you get the sun shining too and it just drains the
True.
energy from you, it's so hard to
What
rebound.
what we did too for waste was well, we only went the one day. But we went to the waist, we came back, we quick hour nap, which is much needed. But you have to make
Yeah.
sure you wake you have to make sure you wake up. That's
You
the
don't
thing.
have time. You don't have time when you're going to the Super Bowl right after. Like the tournament's going to end and the Super Bowl will kick off. Like
You got to keep
probably
going.
within an hour, right?
You got to keep going.
Yeah.
That's
You
possible
need a
though.
helicopter to get
Hey.
from one to the other.
The
Yeah.
vibes are high. The vibes are high.
The
Boys can
issue
do it.
is, like, if you nap and you're drunk, that's the hangover.
It's 50. I don't know. You have to be at an hour max.
It needs to be a little
You have to put an
power.
alarm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to have a beer right when you get up.
Yeah.
Or like suck down a big thing of water.
Yeah, it's science we're talking about
Yeah.
here. This is a science.
This is when we're older now, so we read into this stuff. When we were younger, it was just you're
It's
good to
it's
go.
for science now.
Yeah.
Before it was just
We have
go.
all these we have all these. Speaking of a science now, good thing they created these because they might help us, right?
Yeah, some Can I Wellness.
Some Can I Wellness shout out, gents. Who's the new ambassador they just got brought in?
We are on the same level as Dion Phaneuf.
Big D, the
Maple
Triple
Leafs
D,
legend.
former
Leafs
captain,
legend. Took so much heat
Yeah.
in the city,
the
but
last captain
still our
before
boy.
JT.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
fucking weird to think of though. But
it is
yeah,
actually the
What's the,
double Dion.
the double Dion plus Superfan Sprint, Superfan
Yeah.
25 for 25% off.
Hopefully at the waist we can be throwing out some Can I Men to fans.
Yep, just handing them out.
Yeah, yeah,
Use this tomorrow when you're hurting.
Yep.
for sure. For sure. Boys, let's talk about AT&T Pebble Beach Pro Am.
Yeah.
Definitely some storylines that have come out of that. Aaron Rodgers, huge sandbagger. by the
Huge
sounds of it.
sandbagger.
Even
Not
Keith
surprised.
Mitchell was like, this guy's handicap
Also-
is not what he says it is.
Quick side note, Keith Mitchell is now my favorite player because of his nickname.
What is it?
Cashmere Keith.
He does have some nice style. He's got the vise
does.
going,
Yeah.
the wide brim vise going.
So I'm no longer on the South Korean train. I'm a Cashmere Keith guy.
Cashmere Keith.
Yeah.
Are you a bandwagon golf fan?
Me?
Yeah.
I think he just likes
He didn't
everyone.
win or anything. I'm just a lover.
But
That's
like,
true.
You just,
That's true.
You just change allegiances like that.
Yeah, true.
Like,
No, I'm
like,
still gonna
if-
root for my boy Sungjae.
If
Sanjay
Sanjay or
and
Tom
Tom-
Kim wins
Tom
this
Kim.
week, like, sorry, man, you can't be happy about it because you're on Team Cashmere Keith now.
I'm
Cashmere Keith.
I'm team Tony Finau now. That's my guy.
I heard that name floating around, and it's hard not to like that guy now.
Cashmere Keith. Wait, how did he get it? How did he get that?
No
Is it too
idea.
obvious or okay? Huh.
No idea.
We'll have to dig that up.
Anyways, AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, not the strongest of fields, unfortunately, but a big win for our boy JR back in the winner's circle after 4 years.
Yeah.
Just a
Did anyone
grind
see a
guy.
shot on what's the long par 5? Like that goes uphill, your second shot along the water. What hole is
Is it
that?
not 18? 18 is a
I
par
don't think
five?
it's 18.
Anyways,
He
did a good shot.
It's weird how that
he
field
hit
is so low.
out of the bunker like a 5-iron from 240 to like 3 feet for eagle.
Wow. Unbelievable. He went through a little run of form like around when he won the gold medal, which
Yeah.
was 2018. Like he got to number 1 in the world. He won the FedEx Cup the year Tiger won the Tour Champs. He was rattling off a few wins there. He's also just a machine at the Masters.
Yeah.
Just like a career runner-up at the Masters.
Yeah. Why is the field there so like that's one of the tournaments I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I think
Just
from what I
timing-wise?
was reading up about it, I think there's a few things, right? First thing is it's a bit of a packed time of season, right? Where you have you have the farmers, and then so it goes farmers, Pebble Beach, WM, and then you have the Genesis. And especially now with the schedule where the Phoenix Open is an elevated event, the Genesis is an elevated event. Like guys are definitely playing those 2 weeks back to back. And then a lot of guys play at the Farmers, as you know, right? So it just to play 4 weeks in a row is exhausting for these guys. So
Right.
it's just logical one not to go through. Then you also have some of the guys that are also playing on the DP World Tour, and their 2 big events in the Emirates are like the same weeks as the Amex and the Farmers. So these guys are traveling back from the Middle East. So it just kind of makes sense to take a week off. And then apparently the pace of play is quite slow because they're playing with amateurs. They're playing
6.5 hour rounds.
Yeah,
Really?
there's like 6.5 hour rounds. So and it's not an elevated event. So I think there's a lot of reasons. There's a few reasons why it's just kind of a logical week off in terms of schedule more than anything. But I don't think the pace of play really helps.
I noticed it was longer because it was like 5 p.m. here, and I looked and they're still playing, which
Shout
is
out to
not
my boy
usual.
Tommy Gainey, who had an 80 in his first round at Pebble.
Hey, is
gloves?
there a Buell?
Did he win the Buell?
He was
To this day,
He was plus 15, but
to this day, that's the only season of the Big Break I've ever watched. Was won by Tommy Two Gloves. Did you guys ever watch that? It was like
No.
the ultimate fighter, but for golf.
can we talk about a quick talk about Denny McCarty, who went 29 at the turn and then
lost.
came out at 1 under?
Oh, did he really shoot that bad on the back?
Well, yeah, he birdied the last to shoot 35, so he shot 8 under, but like
I thought you meant he came out 1 under for his round after shooting a
no.
29.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
he was cruising to a win with that
Yeah.
round, and he just puked on himself.
The pressure. It's the pressure. And you've got a guy like Justin Rose also in the mix there.
Yeah.
It's
Taylor
it's tough.
Pendrith was up there.
It's hole 6.
Yeah.
He
Going for
eagled that
Telly?
hole. Was sick shot.
Nice. Anyways, let's move on. We've got more golf to talk about. Let's move on to the Monday qualifier for the WM Phoenix Open. Our guy Monday Q Info was on site this week, just dialing up all the stories. And what a field. I mean, there was all sorts of crazy stats, over 600 PGA Tour starts amongst the guys that were in the field. Just unbelievable, the quality of players. There's guys with status that had to go had to try Monday qualify because this is an elevated event. And one of the Monday qualifiers, he apparently had to learn to walk again. He had some kind of accident happen and he had to learn to walk again. So just some pretty crazy stories coming out of the Monday qualifier.
That's wild.
I also learned about, because of the Monday finish, at Pebble, a lot of guys that were trying to Monday qualify had to withdraw from the Monday qualifier because they weren't going to be done at Pebble in time. So there was that going on. And then I also heard about apparently this is quite commonplace, but a lot of guys like withdraw from Monday qualifiers because they just know they're not going to advance and they don't want to like slow the pace of play down. And so guys will just like pick up their ball and finish
and just walk off.
Yeah.
And apparently yesterday it was actually a very welcomed like people were happy about guys doing that because they were battling daylight and stuff.
Right.
So
respect, honestly.
It was pretty
Yeah,
interesting.
there's a lot of WDs here. Sung Kang. I know that name.
Of course.
Some
Yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
So a couple guys, Glitch from Kitch.
There we go. Burlington
did not make the tournament.
He
Yeah,
was
so
born
the
in
guy who
Burlington.
I was talking about is this
Scott
guy
Harrington?
Brett White. He had to relearn how to walk after battling a brain infection.
A brain infection?
Yeah, and he Monday queued for the WM.
His name is Brett White.
Brett White.
First
shout out.
Start.
That name is so familiar. I gotta find him.
Yeah, I don't recognize any of the guys that made it through.
No, but if those guys make the cut, they're getting some serious cash.
Is he on the? He's on the Corn Ferry.
Is he on the Corn Ferry?
Do you know what he looks like? Is this him?
No idea. Yeah, I know what he looks like, but
Brett White had 8 birdies.
Yeah, pretty incredible.
Crazy.
Pretty incredible. Anyways, huge field. There was a bit of backlash about Harry Higgs not getting a sponsor's exemption into this event, which
Yeah.
the guy took his tarp off last year on 16.
Yeah, he did.
No wonder he wasn't invited back.
But he fits the mold of what this
It's a narrative. Yeah.
about, right? He fits the narrative. So
yeah, the Superfan narrative.
But we'll get him back there for next year.
Yeah.
For sure. Jake and I watched him a bit last year. Watched him tee off. Kai and I went and watched him tee off 10 last year.
Know what we need?
Who?
We need a Harry Higgs sticker, just his head with the Superfan.
No, you know what we should get to? You know those like the faces they have in the crowds sometimes?
Yeah.
We should get one of those of Harry Higgs. And then one of we don't know what Jimmy. We gotta have one of Jimmy eventually too. Wish we had a video or something, you know?
Yeah, Jake's obsession with Jimmy has kind of evolved over the last month or so year, right? Like,
Jimmy or
it's a year. It's a year since we saw him. You know, it's like those feelings come back.
Jake might be in love.
Guy was a ledge. Guy was an absolute ledge.
I was texting with Matt too offline, and we're talking about this guy Jimmy from Cincinnati. We're gonna find someone at each event from like a random city and just refer to him on each pod. Like we got Dave from fucking Little Rock or something, you know?
George from Des Moines, Iowa.
Yeah, like we'll always find that one guy.
What does Chicklets always say? Rick from Red Deer.
Rick from Red Deer. There's another one from or what's that place in Buffalo? Is it Tonawanda? What's Buffalo?
Tonawanda is just south of Buffalo, or just north of Buffalo.
They had another name of that guy.
South.
I forget his name. Anyway.
Let's move on.
Let's do one quick talk for the golf, the WGC. Let's hop into that quick.
Yeah.
Share our love for that.
I mean, it looks like it's the last year it's going to be played in Dallas, potentially the last year it's going to be played at all. The WGCs used to be like huge, man. Like outside of the Bakers and the players, the WGC is huge events.
My concern is how is Kisner going to stay on tour when he can't just go and win this event every year?
Yeah, legit. Also, like if they get rid of this, if they get rid of the whole WGC thing, like that sucks, and it's kind of sad to see the whole World Golf Championships like banner has kind of dissipated over the last few years. But like they got to have a match play event every year.
Yeah,
yeah.
The brackets are
a
fun.
Couple years, Bobby McIntyre took down Dustin Johnson.
Yeah,
the Scottish guy Bobby McIntyre.
Give us a match play major or elevated event.
Yeah,
one or the other.
Yeah, I've seen people on Twitter say the PGA Championship should be match play. Cool. I don't see them ever doing that, but certainly it's.
What about a playoff event where it's match play?
Yeah, even the finals, man. You could do like a 3-week bracket, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah,
almost like March Madness, right? You advance to the next week through the bracket. That would be pretty sick.
I like
actually.
brackets. Like that's something like we did this last year. I thought it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Like it's really interactive too. You could set up like pools and whatnot, which
Can you name the
we'll
last
get that into.
5
Matt
WGC.
definitely can.
winners?
Matt definitely
Yeah,
can.
of the match play.
Well, Scotty Scheffler last year.
Do you have the list in front of you, Jets?
Yeah, Scotty, and then my boy
Kisner's definitely got to
Kiz.
be one of them.
Yeah.
I want to say Bubba is one of them.
Why is there an American flag here? No, it's Corey Connors. It says
Corey
he's
Connors won?
American.
No.
Yeah. Oh wait.
What are you looking at?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at. I clicked past. Oh, it's past results. It's just last year's tournament. Never mind. Kisner went to the final against Scotty, and Connors went 3rd.
Yeah.
Here we go. Chef, and then my boy the
Kiz.
horse.
Oh, the Horsch one.
You got another
Yeah,
boy.
because he beat Scheffler in the finals.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
rematch this year, wasn't? No, he beat Kiz, and then Kisner was 18-19, Bubba was 17-18, and then DJ.
And Rory won it in 15, I think.
When I click see all past champions, it just goes to last year's fucking.
All right, whatever. We still got more stuff to go through. Hopefully,
Yeah.
Yeah.
we still see a match play event on the PGA Tour. We love it. It's a different format. Every tournament's basically the same, so it's always nice to get a little bit of a change. We see
And
that
match
with
play is
Europe.
cool. It's
Well,
a
maybe
different
they'll-
kind of golf.
Maybe they'll move it somewhere else, which will be fun.
It's a different
too, you know?
style of golf.
It'll be like be
Yeah.
like a new era, and we can
Yeah,
do
I mean,
like
outside of the
event-
team events, of course, we want to see some match play. So hopefully we'll see that. But let's move on. Let's talk about Odin Golf and the
Yeah.
incredible golf balls that they've made for us. And people can buy them and just directly donate to our project, right, Jay?
Yeah, go on our bio on our Instagram or the link in the story. Use code Superfan for 5% off. Really help
Yeah.
us out a lot.
Yeah, every dozen balls that is purchased through Odin Golf, it has our logo on it. The proceeds go directly to us. Shout out to Odin Golf for setting that up for us.
High quality balls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna order some too and get out there soon. Robbie's in fucking Mexico right now, so I have no one to play with. So
Yeah.
once that guy
It was
gets
like
back,
It was like 5 degrees here yesterday. I almost went to the range.
I was
Yeah.
like, dude, yesterday was. I'm not even gonna say what it was, but it was
Yeah.
nice.
It was
Just-
straight
Just
cash.
be,
It was
just be quiet.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be quiet. All right, let's do a segment. Last segment. We haven't done this in a while. Buy or sell. I'm gonna read off.
buy or sell.
I'm
Okay.
gonna read off something, and you have to either buy or sell that thing is gonna happen. All right.
All
I got
right.
5 here. All right. So Rory will be number 1 when we start our journey in 2024.
Number 1 in the world.
That's tough because right now, like recency bias, it's like that guy's not going to lose.
He's
He's
playing
just going
well,
to top five every
but
tournament.
it's still early.
Yeah, but it's like the beginning of the year.
Yeah, well, he just won in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The other thing is like, how is the world rankings going to change? There's been some chatter about the world rankings and how they're put together. And
yeah. I'm going to
uh,
sell this right now.
Sell. Okay.
Like Rory, it's so hard.
And
to
if you're-
say,
it's so
you're
'cause,
gonna-
hard to be number 1 in the world for a
If
year.
you're
For
gonna
that
sell,
long,
if you're
yeah.
gonna sell, who is your pick to be 1?
JT, I think is
Okay.
like JT's just knocking on the door a bit over the
Yeah.
last couple of years. Like, I'm
Uh,
probably a bit lower on selling on this. But I think overall it's still a sell for me. It's
Okay.
just because of the sheer difficulty it is to maintain that ranking for a year.
Okay, 2
Yeah.
sells. Let's go to the next one. Corey Connors won't be the highest ranked Canadian when we start in 2024. Someone else will pass him.
Also, or I'll buy
Like,
that,
who's
I
your-
guess, because it's not going to happen. There's
Yeah.
Hadwin.
You're buying that Corey Connors will be 1, basically, or the highest ranked Canadian.
Oh,
Okay, wait, what's the question?
Corey Connors won't be the highest ranked Canadian golfer in 2024.
Okay, so if you're buying that, you think it's going to happen, i.e.,
Yeah.
there's going to be someone that will beat him.
Yeah, I'm buying.
Well, who's the challenger here?
There's Hadwin. There's Hughes.
Mackenzie
There's
Hughes. Pendrith has been pretty good to start the year.
Pendrith.
Yeah, but one thing I feel
It's
like
the
world-
rankings too. Yeah.
It's world rankings. It's also like his world ranking gets him into events that the other guys may not get into.
True.
Which
Exactly.
allows him to still accumulate points. So I'm gonna buy. I'm selling this.
Yeah, you sell it.
I think he's still gonna be.
You might have persuaded me a bit.
I would sell too.
But that doesn't mean that the Canadian guys aren't on the rise. Like they are.
Yeah.
And Mac Hughes just won.
Yeah, he won a few Sanderson Farms.
Yeah, earlier in the season.
Yeah,
so
like there's more depth now than there used to be. So there is a chance, right?
for sure.
All right, next one. There will be a time where we will drive for 24 hours straight and not stop to sleep or whatever. We'll take shifts.
If we're doing shifts, I'll buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy that. I feel like it's
Not
kind
that
of
hard.
on the bucket list in some
Yeah,
way.
I was looking this up too with the current schedule, and like if there's one trip, if there's one drive that's literally like around 24 hours, we got to utilize that as like a content for that, and we just do
Yeah.
that.
Or
And then we
even
just
on
do-
one of the long hauls or something. It's like let's make as much progress as we can and have a day
Yeah.
off between or
So
something.
so
Yeah.
I've been thinking of I'm a big advocate of the Twitch streams, and
Yeah,
there's been a thing going around for the Twitch that it's like it's basically they stream, there's like a timer, and every time someone donates or subscribes, the timer
Yeah.
goes up and you have to stream for that length.
oh, that's
Right.
sick. Yeah,
It's like an endless stream until that timer ends, right?
we can do
And
that
then
on another
people,
drive too.
so like if we did that, like people donate and stuff, and the stream
Yeah.
just keeps going and going and going, right?
My thing on the long haul trips though is like, especially the LA to Florida one, there's gonna be places where we're gonna want to stop and see shit. Like
Yeah.
one of the 24-hour ones, like say we drive, like no offense to Kansas, or like there's nothing to fucking look at. Like one of those where it's like, where are we gonna stop? You know, like we might as well just drive 24 hours in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. I was gonna say there's the potential we could do something like leaving California on the way to Florida. It's like let's get to New Orleans as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
and then
or
we
Houston
chill
or
in
something.
New Orleans or
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, but yeah, I'm buying this just because I think that
Yeah.
it's kind of on the bucket list. So whether it's necessary or not, I still think we'll do it.
All
Yeah,
right, last
agree.
one here. Last one here to fill in the blank though. So blank will be the most underrated event we attend.
Oh,
This could
Tough
go anywhere.
question.
Yeah.
good question. Underrated. What's going to be the definition of underrated though? Like surely it's going to be like a really intense tournament.
Yeah, well, like
Yeah.
it's a mix of a lot of things, right? Like the chorus you didn't expect to be this sick is actually like up there or something like that, or
Should we shout out
The-
our boy?
the
It's
area-
the heritage.
the duff.
Didn't the heritage just get elevated status though?
Yep.
So the field will be good at the heritage, better than it
Yeah.
has been for a while.
Underrated. It's a tough
Okay.
one.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
Yeah.
This is a tough one. I'm gonna say for some reason the Valspar is just jumping out at me. I feel like
I don't
that
mind that.
Copperhead course, the Copperhead course at Innisbrook, I think is the name of the resort. Like it looks money, the golf course. And it typically has been quite a decent tournament. So I'm gonna stick to it. The other one that I think could be the Valero Texas Open. It's the week before the Masters. Everyone's grinding to get that last spot in the
Yeah.
Masters. It would be really good too. And the 18th hole at the Texas Open, TPC San Antonio has like a big creek river that is just before the green. So the tournament
See
can
some
be
drama.
lost at the end. So
I
I'll say
I'm
agree.
gonna say I got two here. Wells Fargo. It's at Quail Hollow.
yeah, it's a good
Sick
tournament.
That's
track.
one I was gonna say. I was gonna say Wells
Um,
Fargo.
The Honda is at PGA National.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I'm a
Honda's-
big fan of the Arnold Palmer, so I'll throw that one in there. It's an
I-
elevated event, but
It's I would have said WGC too, but you know,
Yeah.
fuck me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we still don't even know what the schedule is going to be. Clearly, last week's announcement means it's still up in the air. So
Yeah.
looking forward to figuring that out. But
yeah.
Yeah, we'll
right,
stay.
boys.
Yeah. Anything
Just
else
good
you want to
shit.
add?
We
Anything
we
else?
we successfully completed a podcast where it was 100% golf.
Yeah,
We've
it's
done
a
it.
bit- It's a
It
big
took
deal.
17. It took 17 episodes, but we did it.
Yeah,
It's
no
a-
hockey talk because the All-Star game, no one gives a shit. So,
Yeah.
and there's no football this weekend until
I like
Super
the
Bowl.
Pro Bowl format. I will say that before we sign off. I thought it was
You did.
entertaining.
You didn't agree with what's his name?
Whatever. Fuck what's his name.
All right, boys.
Anyways, boys, good shit this week.
Yeah,
We
thanks
get
for
back
listening.
to the practice round here.
Yeah.
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 And
Have fun out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi to Jimmy for us.
yeah, I definitely will.
Don't tell Scully